What's up, guys? I am on my way to help one of my YouTube friends buy a used fit scale RC. You see, when you have friends in the upper echelon of RC, that means they're into fit scales. That's what I consider the upper echelon because yes, they are the most expensive. We are looking for a redcat rampage. This is going to be the XB, which is the buggy. I do not know much about it. I know that he has a deal going, so hopefully this thing will be cool and we're going to take a look at it once I get there. And then hopefully we're going to go over this bad boy. Guys, I want you to know that I was not riding dirty. I may have been listening to some 50 Cent, but I am in my Prius and I got over 60 miles a gallon. This was a half-hour commute and it was only 9 miles. Now, hopefully you can understand why I drive a Prius since I live in New York City. I'm drinking some nice cool water over here because I, of course, am trying to save some fuel and not use the air conditioner. But in reality, I don't mind being hot. I am about 5 to 10 minutes early, and that is because you should always be early if you want to be successful. That is one of the habits of highly successful people. If you guys ever read anything about management theory, Stephen Covey is the man. Study him and you'll always do well in life. So now I'm going to spend some time in my Prius, drink some mineral water, and hopefully we're going to take a look at this rampage. I am perspiring pretty badly right now, but it's okay. This is a way to prime your body. This is like going to the sauna, except I get to sit here in my Prius. It is about 88 degrees out here right now. But hey, this is what I do for my fit scale RC friends. Here it is, guys, the redcat rampage XB, the buggy. It looks pretty good. Looks like it's been running some dirt, which is fine. This is actually the same chassis as the XR and the XT, my favorite type of chassis. They're four-wheel drive, no center diff. I love it. Looks like there's 2 remotes. I heard there's something wrong with the receiver, probably just fried or not paired correctly, but that's no big deal. It also has an extra battery, so that's actually pretty nice. I'm gonna attempt to start this thing up right now. I don't know if it will, but I have some fuel, so let's see how it does. All right, the first start, let's see how it goes. I know the brakes are engaged, it's safe to start. It is off the ground right now. Honestly, it's in a pickup truck, but it's still off of the pickup truck, you know what I mean? So you guys just saw the buggy does start. The gas engine seems to be fine. The owner did say that there's an issue with the electronics. Check this out. I guess this does qualify as an issue with the electronics. Whenever you have a receiver with a hole in the back, I mean, that is definitely a major issue in the electronics. The battery pack seems to be okay. When I power it on, the electronics do not respond. I am not sure if the actual on-off switch is fried as well, but I have a new receiver and a FlySky radio. I am going to be testing it out. Hopefully the electronics themselves work and the servos are not fried. It looks like this Rampage has a couple more problems than what I thought it had. It looks like the steering servo is also defective. I have a Savox that the owner gave me. Hopefully this thing will fit. On the way home, of course, I decided to pick up myself a nice chicken parm hero. This is from a classic Italian deli, Ariema's Deli. Check it out, only $5 for this giant chicken parm hero. Let's see what it looks like on the inside, right? Here we go, guys, look at that, $5. This is like the redcat rampage of the heroes right over here. Oh man, they didn't skimp on anything. Look at all that chicken, holy moly. It's nice, it's hot. $5, a lot of protein, of course, carbs, but hey, I ate salmon in my prior video. I think this balances and clears it out, right?
Do steroids make your balls shrink? Well, the answer is yes, they do.
Wow.
But let me throw this at you. Is that really a bad fucking thing?
This thing is not bad.
Right, babe? Mm-hmm.
I am full from the chicken parm. I have the redcat right over here on my table. Let's take a look at what an RC car looks like when somebody sends it. I mean, this thing was sent so much that it's missing the whole front bumper right over here. Actually, it's also missing the rear bumper. Let me show you guys. I have never seen the rear bumper actually ever be broken. The wheels look like they were sent to a different country. There are cracks on the inside of the actual rim, but they do seem to rotate just fine. The tires themselves are in good shape. What's interesting about these wheels, as I remove them from the actual car itself, check out the hub. This is not a 23mm, this is not a 24mm. This is what Redcat calls a square drive. This type of standard wheel wrench will not work. Look at how large the actual wheel nut would need to be to fit on here. Obviously nothing, this is a standard fit scale that I use for pretty much anything. I'm gonna be using these pliers to remove this giant nut right over here, and then we're gonna check out what the square drive hub looks like on these Redcats. Pretty interesting design. I haven't seen it anywhere else other than this model and the other version of the XT. Check this out, guys. This is what they call the square drive hub. So it's kind of like this rounded square unit. It is not really any bigger than even, I would say, a 17mm type of thing. It's like pretty small design. But this is just a standard wheel nut that's just huge, and you could use pliers to take it on and off. I mean, pretty interesting. Does it strip? I am not sure. This is my first type of this kind, but if you guys know, put in the comments below. That should be interesting. And now I have a couple of my fit scale RC tires lined up. This is the heaviest for my MT. This is the one from my Rovan. This is the one from my Rampage Rally XR. And this is one from the XB right here. I have a new and improved, very accurate way to measure. This is a luggage scale. It's going to give us a very accurate digital readout. Let's see which tires are the lightest and which ones are the heaviest. We already know this is clearly going to be the heaviest, but it's honestly going to be a good comparison between these two right here. Let's start with the XB tire. I'm just going to first power this unit on. It needs to set itself to 0. You guys could see right over here, we are at 0. I'm going to attach the hook here at the end, and then we'll weigh it. Okay, it is at 0. I'm going to attach it to the tire. Here we go, it is calculating. I'll show you in a second. Okay, it got it. So we have 0.64 of a pound. Pretty lightweight tire for a fit scale unit. Okay, let's go with the Rampage XR one right over here. I had to use a zip tie because the openings in the rim are just not large enough. I will zero this unit out. Here we go, 0. Attach it. Okay, it is calculating. There we go. It is locked in. We have 0.88 of a pound, so slightly heavier than the XB tire, but still pretty good overall. This is a pretty chunky, meaty tire that I actually like the traction on these. Let's zero it out again. Here we go, it is calculating. It is 1.02 pounds, so as I calculated before with the vintage USPS scale, not bad overall. And now for the big boy right here. We already know the results, but let's see how heavy it actually is. Whoa, it's heavy, man. I could lift weights like this. Here we go, 2.4 pounds. This thing is pretty much a behemoth. You know, that's what you expect. That's why these things are about $90 brand new for just 2 of these. Okay, so our results. The results say that this is 4 times heavier than the tire on this Redcat right over here. I mean, there's basically 4 times worth of mass in the MT tire than the XB tire. Overall, they are pretty good, but they look a little bit brittle. I mean, they were sent so much, there's cracks all over on the inside. The rest of the 3 tires are in similar condition as well. Right now, let's weigh this, see how heavy it is. I suspect it'll be around 20 pounds. It's not really as heavy as some of the other Redcats I have. I have a zip tie attached here to the top. If you guys watch Project Farm, you would know that the Harbor Freight zip ties are actually pretty strong. They handle, I think, 80 or 100 something pounds of pressure before snapping. So I feel pretty safe and comfortable. We're gonna see how much it actually weighs. All right. Wheels off the ground. Okay, we got 21.18 pounds. Honestly, not the heaviest fit scale. That is to its benefit. This thing should be pretty agile and perform pretty well once we get it up and running. Chassis itself is quite dirty, but it's really just a little bit of mud and dirt. Not that big of a deal. What matters is all the parts are here. Other than, of course, the front bumper, but that's not a big deal. They're really cheap on Amazon. I think about $8 for the front and rear. They are exactly the same. The air filter seems to be okay. I am going to be doing some maintenance on it because it doesn't look like it was oiled at all, but not a big deal. Looks like the engine is fairly new. It doesn't have that much dirt on the inside at all on that flywheel. You see that right inside. So even though it was run in dirt without any kind of protection here on the outside, but the inside of the actual pull start, it looks okay in there. I mean, nothing too tragic. It did start, so we know that there is ample compression at least. Check out right over here in the back of this tuned pipe. This is the factory tuned pipe that this buggy included. Is another element right over here showing you that this thing was fairly well sent. You see right over here, there's kind of like an indentation in this pipe. It looks like the rear shock tower probably bent a little bit and impacted with this exhaust bracket inside right over here on this pipe. You could see that there's a fairly large cavity on the pipe. Now, it doesn't sound like it's broken or anything because if there was a massive exhaust leak, you probably would be able to tell. So not the end of the world, but yes, this thing was sent fairly well. Right now we're looking at electronics. This is a normal factory battery. The receiver is plugged in. The throttle servo does work. It's actually a really good Savox servo. The guy must have spent a good amount of money on this. There's some kind of issue with the steering servo. As you could tell, I'm moving the wheel right over here. There's almost no response. It does respond a little bit, but it gets stuck in a position. Chances are this was not a waterproof servo. I did hear that this thing did make contact with some kind of water. I don't know if it was submerged or not. But what is the issue with this? I'm not too worried about the servo. I do have another Savox servo right here. Hopefully this fits. Sometimes the splines and the actual servo mechanism on top of the drive here are a little bit different. So I'm gonna see if they match the splines on the redcat servo horn. Right now, I have this plugged straight in. So I am bypassing the on-off switch right over here. As I put it on and off, there's no response. You could tell that the LED on the receiver is on. I did have to pair this. It was not paired. Check this out. I already showed you guys earlier. There's a hole in the original receiver. So as I said, the owner reversed the polarity probably when he plugged in the wires, which I don't know how that's possible because the receiver here is pretty much only meant to have the wires go in a certain way. There is always kind of a directional angle here with the plug. It looks like it is literally melted. Check this out. I mean, the top of the outline on this receiver box, it is crooked. It is not supposed to be like that at all. And obviously, you're not supposed to have a hole in the back here. Chances are the power switch right here, look at this, it is completely mangled as I look at it. It looks like the wire, look at that, literally the wire, one of the wires, the negative terminal just came out. So chances are it just wasn't making contact or it's fried somehow. But I have the battery plugged directly into the receiver. It does actually work, and worst case scenario, I'll probably just have to upgrade to the Savox servo. Hopefully it fits. I have a new power switch on order. It was only $8 on Amazon. Till then, I'm just gonna have to go to the gym, take some anger out. I mean, this is kind of a problem I didn't expect, but no big deal. Let's go to the gym. Gonna wait about 2 days for Amazon Prime shipping, and then I'm gonna put this in and we'll continue to rehab this buggy.
100 reps straight, pumping. So, tomorrow is gonna be another calf and forearm day, right? Anyway, I'm gonna hit the fucking sack. See you tomorrow.
Impersonating an officer, resisting arrest, fraud, reckless driving, lying to the sheriff. You've just been erased. You've just been erased.